So today I'm out here with our 2016 Buick Enclave. We've got about 80,000 miles on this vehicle and we are getting some shuddering when we accelerate in, I don't know, third, fourth, fifth gear. And we believe it is torque converter slippage. But before I get somebody to yank out my transmission and try to put in a new torque converter or a whole new transmission, I'm going to try a few solutions to try to make this either last longer or go away entirely. So I've already tried some of the Lucas transmission fix. It seemed to help a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm going to be doing a drain and fill, and I'm going to be using this Valvoline Max Life multi-vehicle automatic transmission fluid. It does have the specs that are recommended for the vehicle and many other vehicles. If this doesn't fix the problem by just doing a drain and fill, then I'm also going to try this Lube Guard Flush and Protect Performance Pack. I'm not going to do the flush. I'm just going to put in this side of it, which is the protect after you do the drain and fill. If this drain and fill doesn't fix it with putting this in, then I am going to go a little bit more extreme route to see if I can get it to fix. And if that doesn't work, of course, then we're going to move forward to just getting it replaced. So I'm going to go ahead, get this Enclave up on ramps, get the transmission fluid drained so I can fill it back up. All right, got the car jacked up. Well, it's on jack stands, and then I've got a floor jack underneath the front as an extra precaution for safety. Emergency brake is set, transmission is in park. I'm gonna get underneath there and start draining that transmission fluid out. I got my large drain pan ready, and I got my creeper. I'm gonna get up underneath there, pull that drain plug, and let it drain out. So that's the drain plug for the transmission right there. It's an 11 millimeter on this 2016 Buick Enclave. Should be about 5 quarts that drain out. You're not gonna be able to get all the fluid out of there, but you should get out about 5 quarts. Plug is back in. I wiped it off so we don't have oil dripping in the driveway. Now let's go fill it up. All right, the fluid is drained. It's hard to tell exactly how dark it is because I do drain diesel oil in this oil drain pan, but it was kind of dark coming out, so the transmission fluid probably needed to be changed. Strangely enough, on the Enclave, it only even recommends the transmission fluid to be changed if it falls under what they call severe duty, which would be like using your vehicle as a taxi or something. But if you're just driving it normally, it doesn't even have it in the standard scheduled maintenance to change the transmission fluid. Anyways, now I'm gonna fill it up. So I put 5 quarts of transmission fluid in there, and I look at the dipstick. It is a little high, but it does say to check hot. The transmission's not hot right now, so I'm going to drive it. One, to see if the shuttering has changed at all by just replacing the transmission fluid. And then I'm gonna check it when it's hot to see, am I high or low? If I'm low, of course, I'll add some. If I'm high, I'll put in a vacuum hose in there and just take out a little bit until I'm at the right space. So we drove it around for 30 minutes or so today, and the transmission is actually slipping more now that we did the drain and fill. I don't know if that's because, we drained out some of that protectant and that additives that we had added before, but I'm definitely going to be adding some back in. So now I'm going to try the Lube Guard. I'm going to put that in there and see how well that does when it comes to slipping. So this Lube Guard protectant is going to go in there now. Since just replacing the transmission fluid didn't fix it, I'm going to put this in, and then I'm going to put some Lube Guard transmission fix in there. I did crank up the engine to help circulate this as it's being poured in. Hopefully that keeps it from having anything just settle to the bottom and not stir well. Hopefully this stirs it up real well. Now that stuff looks like it's pretty much as thin as regular automatic transmission fluid. So it's probably just, again, some additives for protectant, but it's not going to probably fix any shuttering. I'm going to go ahead and put in the Lube Guard shutter fix. And this is what I'm talking about here. So this is Lube Guard Instant Shutter Fix. This is supposed to specifically target a shuttering torque converter and help fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. I did buy 2 of these based upon how bad your shutter is. You may need more than one, but I'm going to try one first and see what it does. And then if it feels like it needs some more, I'll put another. To do it, you just use some scissors, cut off the tip, and then pour it in. Again, I'm going to leave the car running because that's supposed to help circulate this when it goes in. And you just squirt it in. Make sure you let it get all bubbled out. All right, I'm going to let that run for a little bit, put the cap back on, and then I'm going to go test drive it. All right, let's go try this thing out. All right, I'm not trying to get too optimistic here, but so far it has not shuddered on me. But I'm fixing to go up this small incline in our neighborhood, and this always shudders. So I'm going to get it up to speed, and we're going to see, do I get the shudder? All right, well, I pulled over in one of the parks in the neighborhood. Crazy enough, if you can't hear it, there's a fire truck coming up while I was testing this, but no shudder. I didn't feel any shudder going up that hill, and I normally do. That's normally like a dead giveaway right there. When you're going, it's gonna shudder, and it didn't. So once the fire truck clears, I'm gonna go try that again. Sorry, the sun is really bright right now and it's beaming through the windshield, but I am gonna try this again. Another thing I did not notice is normally when we get the shutter, I'll get just a slight, jumping of the RPM needle there, and I'm not getting that. At least I didn't see it. Again, most of the way through that, I saw the fire truck coming, so I got out of the way, but I'm not seeing it. So I'm gonna try it again and see if I get any kind of shutter. All right, well, that was the second time going up that, and I would always get a shutter there and no shutter. This stuff seems to really work. The shutter fix has gotten rid of the shutter. I don't know how long this stuff lasts, but this is awesome. I mean, it really works. So, like I said, I've tried some other things. They did not work, and this Lube Guard seems to do it. So, Lube Guard Instant Shutter Fix, I think that's what it was called. Seems like it did it. I'm going to head home now. I'm going to be checking the transmission fluid again just to see what level it's at, because I did run it more and it should be hot, and it says check it when it's hot. But to the point, this stuff is about as close to magic in a little bottle as you can get. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if this is going to be a fix until the next transmission fluid change, which means I would just put another one of these in it, or is this going to degrade over time? I guess we'll find out. But it went from, slightly shuddering on any kind of incline under 50 miles an hour to non-existent. So anyways, we'll see. I really hope all of this information was helpful. I will have a link to this down in the description so you can get your magic too. If you're having the same problem, I do definitely recommend to at least do a drain and fill, put some new fluid in there before you put this in, so that way you've got at least, I don't know, another 30,000 miles or whatever it is before you change your transmission fluid again. You may be able to just pour this right into your old transmission fluid. I don't know, but I did the drain and fill, so I'd know at least I have some good transmission fluid in there. This vehicle does not have an easily accessible transmission filter. You have to pull the transmission out to get to the filter, so I'm not going to be changing that. And other than just doing a absolute flush, which I don't think I need to do. Anyways, let me know down in the comments if y'all have used this and had the same success or any issues with this, because I'd like to know before, getting too far in if there's problems this can create. But that's it, man. This did it. Anyways, I hope this information was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.